Hi, and welcome to another edition of Coffee with Waymark. Today's episode is kind of near and dear to my heart because my senior in high school now, she's 17, going on 18 in June, is applying to college, and we are right in the thick of financial aid. So I've been doing a lot of extra research on financial aid. I always had a general understanding of financial aid, but now that it's very relevant to me as my firstborn is going into college. Now I'm paying a little bit more attention to it. And in my research, I came across a really neat chart that does a really good job in one slide on how to determine how financial or federal financial aid is actually calculated. So let me share that with you. What you see here is, and let me get my little pen here. What you see here is total costs per year minus this thing called student aid index is your financial aid eligibility. What that pretty much means is not that that purple box is how much you're actually going to get in financial aid, but how much aid a student is eligible to receive. So how is that student aid index actually calculated? Well, this is one of the most misunderstood things in financial planning. I've heard all sorts of different theories on how this is calculated, but it's here, black and white. This is, as I said, the best summary that I've seen for federal financial aid eligibility. And so what you see here is that, yes, parents and how much money they're making and what their assets are dictate a portion of that student aid index. But look at the student section. Instead of 22 to 47% of the parents' income being taken into account, 50% of their income is taken into account. Similarly, assets are only valued at 5.64% and taken into consideration at that level, whereas a student's is up to 20%. So long story short, students and trying to get assets, significant assets away from the student is a thing that you should be thinking about, probably freshman and sophomore years of high school in order to reduce the amount of impact that the student portion has on the student aid index. And one of the most important things, and one of the things that I've been asked about a lot, is grandparents and others. None of their assets are taken into consideration. So even if there's an inheritance that could be coming the student's way, if it's still at the grandparent level, does not apply. And so long story short, this is how the student aid package for federal is taken into account. Now, individual schools have their own way of calculating need as well. And in some cases, grandparents and other amounts of money that are slated for the child can be part of this equation. But as I mentioned, this is for federal, which is for a lot of people, the bulk of financial aid. For federal purposes and FAFSA, FAFSA, this is the calculation that people use to calculate what the financial aid is. So real quick one here today. I came across this in my own research and I thought I'd share it with you. Hopefully it's helpful, and that's really all I got for today. So hopefully this was helpful, and I look forward to the next time we get together for coffee with Waymark. Take care.